Welcome to the deep dive. If you've ever tried getting a U.S. passport for your child, well, you probably know it can feel like a real headache, just a bureaucratic maze sometimes.
It really can be.
So today, we've pulled together a bunch of sources, and we're focusing just on the three biggest hurdles, the things that really cause delays in those applications.
Yeah, common pitfalls.
Exactly. Our mission here is to give you the specifics, the forms, the details you need to hopefully get it right the first time.
Cut through some of that red tape.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Before we get lost in form numbers, let's talk about the basic why behind it all.
Right.
The whole process, complicated as it is, it's really driven by national security and maybe even more importantly, trying to prevent international parental child abduction.
That's the core principle, absolutely. And that why shapes every single rule you encounter.
So what does that mean in practice?
It means that for any kid under 16, the rules are, well, they're pretty much set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
The law basically says both parents or legal guardians listed on the birth certificate, they have to agree to the passport.
Okay, both parents. And how do they actually check that? That brings us to hurdle number 1, I guess.
It does. The practical side is this. The child has to show up in person,
Right.
and both parents have to be there too, in person at the acceptance facility.
Both. Okay.
Yep. And everyone needs ID. The parents need their own valid government IDs, and you need the child's original certified proof of citizenship, usually the birth certificate.
And this all goes with that main application form, the DS-11.
That's the one, the first-time application form.
But, life happens. Getting two parents, a kid, and an appointment all lined up at the same time. That
Yeah.
sounds tricky.
It is tricky, and that leads right into what causes most delays, honestly. Hurdle number 2, what do you do when one parent just can't be there?
Okay, so let's break that down. What if the absent parent is okay with it, they just physically can't make the appointment?
That's the most straightforward, relatively speaking. You need Form DS-30053. It's the statement of consent.
DS-3053.
Got it. But this is where people get tripped up. It must be signed in front of a notary public, a certified notary.
Okay, standard enough.
But here's the real kicker. It's only valid for 90 days from the date it's notarized.
Whoa, wait, 90 days? That's it. That seems really short, especially if a parent is, overseas or deployed.
It is short. It's a security
Uh,
measure, basically, to make sure the consent is fresh, current.
Okay.
And there's one more piece that's crucial. You must include a photocopy front and back of the same ID the absent parent showed the notary.
So you need the notarized form A and D, a copy of the ID used for the notarization.
Exactly. Forget that copy or miss the 90-day window, and your application's likely getting rejected.
Okay, that's a big one to remember. Now, what if it's not about logistics, but about legal rights? Say, one parent has sole custody.
Right. Different scenario.
Uh,
If you have a court order granting you sole legal custody, you don't need the other parent's consent.
Sole legal custody, does it have to say those exact words?
Pretty much. Or it needs to specifically state you have the right to apply for the child's passport. Here's another catch. Just having joint custody isn't enough.
Really? Even if you're the primary residential parent?
Doesn't matter for this. Joint custody means you still generally need the other parent's consent via that DS-3053, or you have to explain why you can't get it.
Okay, so that court order is key if you have sole custody. What about the really tough situations? A parent who won't cooperate, or maybe you just can't find them.
That's when you turn to Form DS-5525. It's called the Statement of Exigent or Special Family Circumstances.
Sounds serious.
It is, and it's really a last resort. You have to write a detailed explanation signed saying exactly why you can't get the other parent's consent. Maybe their location is unknown, maybe there are safety issues.
And submitting that guarantees the passport?
Oh, definitely not. It's absolutely not a guarantee. The State Department looks at these case by case, and they can, and often do, deny them. You need a very compelling reason.
Wow. Okay, so consent is definitely hurdle 1 and 2. What's the third big one you mentioned?
It's about the passport itself, once you get it, the timeline.
Ah, right. I think I remember this. Kids' passports aren't good for 10 years like adult ones, are they?
Nope. For kids under 16, they only last 5 years.
5 years? Why the shorter time frame? Seems like more hassle.
It is more hassle, but again, it comes back to security. Think about how much a child's appearance changes between, say, age 2 and age 7.
Oh, yeah. Completely different faces.
Exactly. It's about biometrics. The photo needs to be a reasonably reliable way to identify the child. After 5 years, that baby picture just isn't useful or safe for ID purposes. It helps prevent trafficking and confirms identity.
That makes sense. So 5 years. Then you just renew it by mail like adults do, right?
See, that's the big gotcha. Hurdle 3 isn't just the 5-year validity, it's the renewal.
Read about it.
There is no simple mail-in renewal for kids under 16. You can't use that DS-82 form.
You're kidding. So every five
Right.
years.
You start all over again, the whole process. New DS-11 application, new photos, another trip in person.
And you have to re-verify parental consent all over again.
Every single time until they turn 16. It's a mandatory restart. Back into the paperwork maze.
Man, that is something parents need to budget time for. Okay, you mentioned age 16. Does it change then?
It does. There's a sort of exception for 16 and 17-year-olds. They actually get the full 10-year passport.
Okay, that's better.
And the consent rules relax a bit. They still apply in person with the DS-11, but they only need to show parental awareness.
Parental awareness. What's that mean?
It means one parent should ideally go with them. But if not, the teenager can bring a signed note from one parent saying they know the teen is applying, plus a photocopy of that parent's ID. Much easier than the two-parent rule.
Gotcha. So less strict for the older teens.
Okay, let's try to wrap this up. What are the key takeaways for someone listening?
If you're dealing with a passport for a child under 16, remember these three main things.
1. Two-parent consent is mandatory, usually in person. 2. If one parent can't be there, that DS-35E3 form is crucial, but watch that 90-day notarization clock, and don't forget the ID copy.
Right, the 90 days and the photocopy.
And 3, it's only a 5-year passport, and there's no easy renewal. You have to do the full application in person with consent checks all over again every 5 years.
So it really boils down to proving consent, navigating those specific forms correctly, and being ready for the 5-year restart.
Exactly. The whole system is built around verifying and re-verifying that parental consent.
Which brings up a final thought, maybe. All this complexity, especially the need to reappear in person every 5 years, does it actually make things significantly safer? Or does the sheer difficulty of it sometimes just prevent legitimate, necessary travel for families who struggle to jump through all those hoops?
That's the big question, isn't it? Where's the balance between security and practicality? Something to think about.